Okay, I just made a video and for some reason absolutely none of it got recorded. So listen, I'm gonna point this out again. They're putting those park benches up on the sides of the roads before the red lights are fixed, before the stop signs are fixed, before all the debris is picked up that's fucking people's cars up in the road. Their priority is putting benches on the side of the road. If you go from here all the way down this park area here, you'll find about 22 of these that blew into the water or near the water that leaked all of that blue shit that's in those into our fucking bay. Okay? But no, don't worry about the hazardous material. Don't worry about the hazardous material that's in our water. If you go down our canals right now, there's so much fucked up shit in our canals that haven't even been touched. Nothing. 2.5 months they've done nothing with it. Our red lights haven't even been fixed yet. Our stop signs haven't been fixed yet. Our trees haven't been picked up yet. We have whole houses sitting at the road, ready to get picked up. Well, the emergency pickups contract is over. This is the pickups they're doing right now are the last time they'll be on those streets. And they've even gone to people and apologized to them that they're not, our county didn't pay them enough to come back again. So all that shit's gonna get left on their road. Okay? Now we're gonna have to pay to have it removed. Because you know what, the county has already let us know they only pick up 4 yards. Well, 4 yards is 4 foot tall by 9 foot long. That's nothing. That's one of the smallest trailers you can buy for landscaping. 4 foot by 9 foot. Okay. A house on average is probably almost 100 yards of debris. Anything that's, you can't just let it sit in front of your house because there's a county ordinance against that. So, people are either get cited, they're gonna end up, because we have a very corrupt county here. Our waste management here is probably one of the most corrupt waste managements I've ever seen in my life. Everybody has problems with them. Nobody likes the waste management in our county. Nothing gets done about it because our county commissioners are pussies. And they don't do shit to help the citizens of our county. And that fucking sucks. We fight and we fight and we fight. We hold rallies. I'm out here every day. I've lost my whole life standing up for this county, this community, this country. I've been canceled from everywhere. My bank accounts have been canceled. My credit cards have been canceled. I don't mind that. The more you fuck with me, the more stuff I put on my truck and the more meetings I go to and speak out against you. Okay, you won't break me. You won't stop me. All these, guess what? Charlotte County. We're coming around to find out what's going on with your libraries and the schools in the coming month. That's where we've gotten to at this point. We took care of all the critical race theory shit last year. We took care of all the vaccine shit last year. I keep saying we because I own a company. I took care of these things. I spoke out for these things for you, which I love doing. Doesn't bother me because I don't fear the government. I don't fear the FBI. I don't fear the ATF. At this point, big government, big old daddy, if you're going to try to take me at this point, you got to kill me. You're not putting me in a fucking prison cell like you've done to January 6 people. That ain't happening. You're going to motherfucking kill my ass and everybody's going to know what you did to me. I only make that reference because, as y'all know, I've been raided like 29 times by the FBI for doing school board meetings. It's fucking hilarious. Every time I do a school board meeting, it's like to the T. I can sit there and wait for them with cookies and milk now because I know when they're. If I do a school board meeting on a Tuesday, the very next Friday exactly, they're going to be at my front door. And it's usually around the same time every time. They're very predictable. Very, very predictable. And then when they watch you to keep an eye on you and follow you, they're very, very visual. You can see them. You can spot an FBI agent from a million miles away. That's why I don't understand how they infiltrated all these groups that are getting fucked right now. I don't get it. I mean, I do get it. The people that they infiltrated were also working with the FBI. And that's fact. Enrique himself flat out said, I was working with the FBI. He told you he was working with the FBI. You know. Now, Oath Keepers. I know a lot of you very personally. I know a lot of you personally down here in Florida. And I'm super disappointed in you. What fucking cowards you ended up being, huh? Look what you let them do to your commander. What was the point of your organization? The point of an organization like that, of a militia, is to stop tyrannical shit like what's happening to your commander right now. What have you done? I'm waiting. What have you done? Nothing? Oh, that's right. Nothing. None of you supposable patriot groups, militias, whatever you want to call yourselves, have done a fucking thing. Now, I've emailed my governor numerous times trying to get help to get, I've emailed all of my facts from my case that got me turned into a felon. I emailed everything to him. Told him what happened, explained, asked him for help, because anyone that can look at it with a logical mind can see, oh, this kid was set up for all of these charges. I committed 2 crimes, I did. I didn't knowingly commit one of them. I got convicted of being a felon in Georgia for telling my drug addict girlfriend that of 4 years that I came home from work one day and caught stealing money out of my drawer to pay for her drugs and didn't know she had been doing it for a very long time. And then she admitted that she was cheating on me as well. So I got really mad and I fucking yelled at her and I said, you fucking cunt, you're dead to me now. Well, guess what? She called the cops and said I threatened to kill her. So they got me for some kind of domestic dispute shit. They tried to call it terroristic threats. I don't remember what they tried. That was my first time ever being arrested in my life. I was almost 30 years old. My very first time ever being arrested in my life was that. Never had a speeding ticket before that. Maybe one speeding ticket when the day I got my driver's license. I was in a 69 Mercury Cougar with a really big fucking engine in it. And I spun my tires from one side of town to the other and fucking did about 110 miles an hour across town because I was excited that I got financed for my first car at a used car muscle car showroom, and I was super happy. That was my first offense. And then the Georgia thing, which was 20 plus years later. But anyway, I fled down here because I was scared shitless. I didn't know what was going on. Her parents run what's called the Georgia Cumberland Academy up there, which runs the whole town. So I was convicted within 2 days. I had never been in court, never anything like that. It was my first time ever being in a courtroom. I'm not gonna lie, I was scared shitless. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I had never been arrested before. I was in handcuffs. They were saying all kinds of threats to me. Well, while I was incarcerated, I had a laptop that was rented from Erin's, and she pawned it with my driver's license because they know us very well. We used to go pawn their shit there all the time when we couldn't pay our rent. She pawned it with my driver's license. Well, as I was sitting in jail 4 months later, that's how long it takes them to get you in court in Georgia. 4 months later, they put some charges on me for, what was it? Defrauding a secondhand dealer or some shit like that, and then grand theft. Keep in mind the item wasn't over $300, and keep in mind all the charges I have right now, none of the items that I'm charged with match any of the items that I had in the pawn shop. They're similar items, but they don't match, but I was still charged for it. Okay, so the first charge here was I was doing a renovation and I found a box full of stuff. And I get boxes full of shit from HUD Home Renovations that all the shit's getting thrown to the street. There's cool shit, so I take some of it. And I had a contract that I could do that. Took it to the pawn shop. Well, they were going through the box, and there was ammunition in there, and I wasn't even aware of everything that I sold to them. Well, some of it was ammunition, and as a convicted felon, you can't even... Now get this. You can't call the cops and give them the ammo because you found it. They would take you to jail for it. They told me that. You can't throw it in the garbage because that's illegal. And then you can't give it to somebody because that's illegal, because you're a felon. But then you can't sell it to a pawn shop to get rid of it either. How the fuck do you get rid of it? So I got charged. They charged me as a convicted felon with a firearm here in the state of Florida for that. They charged me with a convicted felon with a firearm. There's no firearms ever in my case. I've never been caught with a firearm in my life, but it looks like I have 2 or 3 charges of a convicted felon with a stolen firearm. But I don't. There was never any firearms, listen, in the actual recording from the detective interviewing my supposed drug addict victim that I have videos of, by the way, so fucked up on heroin and shit that they can't even think straight, drives kids on a school bus, fucked up on heroin, showed them those videos, they didn't care. Oh fuck, what was the moral of my story at this point? I'm ADHD, sorry. Anyway, it just ended up being a stupid situation, you know. It was really dumb. I trusted the wrong people, I got in some fucking trouble. I'll be honest, I was really sick, and they gave me a place to stay while I was going through some treatments that I was going through, and the way I paid for my rent was there was this stuff called Spice that everybody in Florida was smoking. I had never done it before, but I knew people that smoked it, and I would get them Spice. They would give me items, and I would take it and trade it for Spice. Well, they reported all those items stolen. Supposedly, I stole them from factory boxes and left the boxes behind and just filled them full of other stuff. But magically, the victim cut all the boxes up, threw them in the garbage. The garbage ran right after they threw them in the garbage, and then they called the cops to come out. So they couldn't provide any model numbers, any proof of ownership of anything. They just said that, oh, that was the moral. ADHD brain. In the actual recording of the officer talking to my supposed victim, he said, this is what Joshua Pierce pawned. Boom. Showed him a fucking list. Is any of this yours? Oh, I forgot about that. I didn't even think. I forgot that was mine. Yeah, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine. And that's what they charged me with. Come on, man. Really? Isn't that called leading a witness? Isn't the witness supposed to report items stolen, not be given a list of items and say, are any of these items yours? Because you just reported him to his work for being a fucking drug addict and going to drive kids on a school bus while he's so fucked up he doesn't even know his own name? It's nuts, man. It's nuts. But I'm not that naive kid anymore, because I went to prison for that, by the way. I went to prison. Not one of these items, all of the items that I supposedly stole together equaled maybe $200, but I was charged with like 10 counts of Grand Theft. I was thinking of the game GTA for some reason. Charged with 22 or some shit like that counts of Grand Theft. Now they tried to charge me with, okay, get this, 22 counts of organized dealing and stolen property. They tried to hit me with the RICO Act. My second time ever being arrested, they put 310 points on my record. That's 27 life sentences. 28 points is a life sentence. They tried to put, my math's a little off, but they tried to put 310 points on my record. Now, keep in mind, I have paperwork stating the majority of the charges were dropped within the first week. They held me for 2 years. I asked for trial the whole time. I asked for a quick, speedy trial. They gave them continuances because the prosecution couldn't get their case together. First, the first public defender they gave me, within 6 months of being my public defender, got fired for working against his clients with the prosecutor. Did that matter on my case? No. The second lawyer they gave me was my victim's same lawyer. And they let that person be my lawyer and get all my information for a year straight before they said, oh, wait, we're both of your lawyers. We have to no conflict you, and we're going to keep working for your victim. After they've asked me everything about my case and written down and recorded everything about my case, they said, oh, wait, we're also your victim's lawyer, so we have to no conflict you. And then they gave me what's called a pro se lawyer from the other side of Florida, Plantation, Florida, that's a federal lawyer, not even a criminal lawyer. He's a fucking federal lawyer that doesn't do criminal law. And that's who they brought down. He told me, he said, oh yeah, we're taking this to trial. Fucking, this is bullshit. The day we get into trial, finally, 2 years later, they can only, keep in mind, by law, they can only hold you for 11 months and 29 days, and then they have to either let you go or pay you for every day you've been in there if you beat your charges. Okay? The state attorney is held accountable for that. So, keep that in mind. Get into trial. About to have the victims come in, the defendants. The state attorney looks at the judge, says, I need you to step out of the quarters, and I need the teletyper to stop typing. I said, I'm not okay with that. Judge said, I'll allow it anyway. I said, but what? I don't want to talk to them. Judge walks out, leaves the chambers. The guy stops typing, so I've got no proof of anything that was said. The recorder was turned off. The state attorney looked at me and said, here's what's up. You could either take 2 years and go to prison and get directly out. I ended up sitting in prison for 3 weeks because it takes them a long time to process you. So I ended up doing 2.5 weeks more than I was supposed to. But anyway, they said take 18 months, or 2 years. No, it was 18. 2 years. They said do 2 years, or we're going to put you in prison for 15 years. I said, what the fuck? Because that's an ultimatum. That's not a deal. My lawyer looked right at me in the face and said, I'm no longer confident that I can win your case, in front of the state attorney, as loud as he could, and said, you should take the deal. What the fuck? I never had free and fair proceedings. I never had a speedy trial because I asked for it numerous times. They continued my case like 14 times. For 2 years, they continued my case. I was in court almost every month. They continued my case every single time because there was a problem with the lawyer. I had 4 lawyers no conflicted. I didn't no conflict them. They had to no conflict my case. Man, it's just shit like that that has made me... See, I was super naive to how fucked up the system was and how fucked up people were before I went inside. So I will thank you for that. Because not everybody in there is a piece of shit, but most of them are. Most of them are. They want to be in jail. They love it. There was some people that literally came to jail 7 times while I was in there. I'm like, how the fuck do you keep coming in and out for fucked up shit, too? One dude got caught with 10 bags of heroin on his person. 10 bags, $20 bags of heroin. The motherfucker did 4 months and got out. I'm like, holy fuck. They're saying I stole some plastic speakers and a motherfucking knife that came from Walmart that cost $10, and I'm going to prison for 2 fucking years. It's crazy, man, how shit works. They tried to hit me. Not only did they hit me with that ammo that I was getting rid of because I was a felon and couldn't have it, and I found it in a renovation, they tried to hit me with every single fucking bullet. Okay? There was 2 boxes of 9mm caliber bullets, 50 round boxes. That would have been 100 counts. 100 counts of a convicted felon with a firearm or ammunition. Because keep in mind, the firearm law, you're a convicted felon with a firearm just for getting caught with ammunition. They put them in the same law, even though ammunition is not a firearm. There's no firing pin in it. There's no bolt carrier group. There is no rail. There is nothing. It's just a bullet. But they put that in. But get this, a felon can't have a gun, but they can go buy 1,000 pounds of high explosives. A felon can't have I want you liberals to keep that in mind. A felon can't have a firearm, but without any kind of identification whatsoever, you can buy 1,000 pounds of fucking explosives and carry it around in your fucking vehicle. I want you to keep that in mind. While you're trying to get rid of the Second Amendment, you can buy explosives with no ID. And you're worried about guns. San Francisco just started robots with targeted explosion. I don't know if you know what a targeted explosion is, guys, but it's when that robot goes right up your butthole and then literally just blows your butthole right out of your mouth, bro. Like, it's a targeted explosion. Like, they can target it just as fine as a bullet nowadays. You have no clue how fucking precise a targeted explosion is. You can make an explosion just go in one direction and only destroy what's there, okay? And it hurts nothing else around it. You can put a specific size charge in a drone, which they do. They have them. They release that drone plane footage. They can level a city in like 30 minutes where millions of drones just fly out of the back of it. Well, it's got a charge. They can just fly right into your head, and it's just enough of a charge that it blows your head up. stupid shit like that. A felon could do that, but he can't have something that shoots a projectile. I think that's fucking retarded, but that's just me. Okay, now I've gone on a rant, and I've gotten off the whole tangent that I was on in the first place, but I just thought I would mention that part. And let me tell you this, a felon can own black powder as long as it's the actual year of the firearm or a replica of that actual year. So you felons in Florida that get caught with black powder weapons and they say you can't have that, we're going to arrest you, point them to the law where it says right in the law, or a replica. But listen, I'd rather get shot with a modern day AR-15 than a 54 caliber fucking black powder rifle any day of the week, because that's just going to take half your shit right out of you, dude. Just go right out of you. Your whole chest is going to go right out, dude. That's a 54 caliber ball that's just pushing right through all your meat. It's crazy. I'm going to do a video where I go shoot a hog with a black powder rifle for you. And I want you to see what that fucking black powder rifle does to that hog. They've got some badass black powder rifles out there now. They got some badass black powder revolvers where you don't have just one shot. You get 6 shots. They've got that Navy Arms 6-shot black powder rifle that's 100% legal. Now they have the new cap and ball to where you just put it in and it stays in. So you can load it. It's got the wax paper. Therefore, you don't have involuntary discharges, because people used to blow their own shit off all the time carrying their fucking guns in their holster, black powder, boop, just go off. That fucking blow, dude. I'd hate to be carrying that motherfucker and just blow my nuts off. That would suck. So they have things that bypass that now, and they have blaster caps that sit right on the nipple perfectly, and it's got a little that clamps on. So once the striker hits that, the nubs push out, so the blaster cap comes right off. So yeah, it's much different. I'm gonna tell you right now, I would much rather get shot with a modern day 45 ACP than that Navy Arms fucking 45 black powder, because you can regulate your own black powder, first of all, and second of all, that's a 45 caliber ball bearing. Okay, when it goes inside you, it flattens out and pushes through you. It doesn't pierce you. Spinning. The muzzles, most muzzles aren't bored on black powder. It is a round 54 caliber ball that flattens out, is right about 1/4 inch into you, flattens out and pushes the meat right through your body. So it takes a hole out of you like that. That's fucking sick, bro. And you're worried about fucking AR-15s. Plus, a black powder with iron sights, once you know how to fire it right, it's accurate up to 310 yards. Nuts, huh? Little bit of information for you guys out there. I love you. I hope you're having a blessed day. Holy fuck, this is a 23-minute video. Later, guys.